Humanity has always tried to imagine what the future would be like, from the second coming, to flying cars, to colonizing Mars.
I think it's very important that we go out into space as a civilization.
Stories in movies and TV shows can help us imagine this future and even inspire reality. In fact, the very first science fiction film, released back in 1902, depicted a then fantastical trip to the moon. But while we did eventually make it to the moon, some other predictions from movies and TV haven't held up so well. Here's what we've gotten wrong and right about the future, as well as the predictions we're still making today.
They're gonna have the flying cars already.
Yeah, they have been promising that for a while.
So how well did stories foresee what we now call smart technology? Film and TV portrayals have long vacillated between hopefulness and fear toward computers. In 1965, French New Wave director Jean-Luc Godard released Alphaville, where a secret agent investigates the Alpha 60 computer, which uses mind control to rule over residents of the town.
Les hommes ordinaires sont indignes de la position qu'ils occupent.
In 1966, Star Trek swept in to make computers largely less harrowing and more exciting. The series' many computer-related devices, according to the Computer History Museum, influenced generations of filmmakers, writers, and especially technologists, some of whom are still working today to create technologies featured on the show.
We obviously now have video conferencing like they did on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Of course, most stories didn't foresee that a mobile phone could become capable of what we've seen today. Even Star Trek only comes up with the communicator, a glorified flip cell phone.
Spock. Spock.
Spock here.
According to Business Insider, the communicator literally inspired Martin Cooper, engineer for Motorola, to design the world's first mobile phone in 1973. Oddly enough, modern smartphones deliver on a totally different prediction from lots of classic science fiction: a computer that somehow contains the collected knowledge of humanity. Now, all that knowledge is easily accessible, albeit fallible, at our fingertips. Stories have also grappled a lot with the nature of artificial intelligence, or AI. Robots, machines, Amazon's Alexa, what are they capable of? Can they feel love? What will they do to humanity? These modern questions are at the centers of stories from AI artificial intelligence to Blade Runner to Her.
Until you were born, robots didn't dream, robots didn't desire unless we told them what to want.
While we don't yet have robots like AI's David, who yearns to become human and seems to feel deeply human emotions, perhaps 2013's Her offers the prediction closest to our current state of affairs. Like Amazon's Alexa and Apple's Siri, Samantha is an amorphous female voice who can help with everything from searching recipes, deleting emails, to sharing an apparently passionate conversation. She appears to have a rich inner life, which she develops through machine learning.
The DNA of who I am is based on the millions of personalities of all the programmers who wrote me, but what makes me, me, is my ability to grow through my experiences.
While Samantha outgrows humans, she, and many other fictional robots like David or Wall-E, retain a compassion for their creators and do want to help us.
Remain stationary momentarily.
What's that? What's going on?
So, does this mean that AI can love us or learn to become human? In September 2022, Madhurjia Chowdhury wrote in Analytics Insight that tech will likely never have feelings like humans, but rather just learn to appear compassionate. Maybe this is for the best. Our on-screen stories have explored how AI experiencing human emotions can go badly wrong or be plain creepy.
Megan, turn off.
I thought we were having a conversation.
Take Agnes, a computer in the Twilight Zone that keeps falling in love with the humans programming it. Or TV bizman Max Wren in Videodrome, who makes love to his girlfriend through a TV screen. When it comes to the emotional instinct to survive or spread at all costs, many stories have also promoted wariness of AI and whether it could turn on us. Science fiction is littered with AI villains, from the replicants of Blade Runner to the Cylons of Battlestar Galactica. Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey's iconic HAL 9000 is a thinking computer who exemplifies how this intelligence might compete with human beings for future survival.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me.
Still, perhaps the biggest thing to fear with future AI isn't a humanly paranoid or ill-intentioned villain robot, but a totally impersonal, super smart machine. Already today, we're seeing some AI bots are being used by people in power to spread disinformation, perpetuate discrimination, and in turn corrode public trust. And watching a truly unfeeling, relentlessly deadly technology come to life like the dog robots in Black Mirror is a harrowing and very plausible nightmare, especially when real-life tech seems to resemble it.
We are able to send the robot into areas that are inaccessible to people.
Upcoming horror film Megan also explores what happens when an AI robot will stop at nothing to perform the task it was programmed to do.
Don't worry, Katie. I won't let anything harm you ever again.
Silicon Valley imagines an AI that could destroy all privacy. And the show ends with this cautionary tale about how just because we can create the tech for something, and it would probably make lots of money, doesn't mean we should.
This will mean the end of privacy. Financial institutions, the nuclear launch codes, all will be exposed.
Today, numerous experts working in the field agree that AI is incredibly potentially dangerous. As Elon Musk pointed out, AI doesn't have to be evil to destroy humanity. If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to be in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course without even thinking about it. No hard feelings. One type of long-time dream for the future has centered around making travel easier and faster. If we can invent bikes, cars, airplanes, and then rockets, then why wouldn't we create faster-than-light spaceships, which would allow us to go anywhere in the universe at the drop of a hat? We've seen examples of this future dream in franchises ranging from Star Wars to Battlestar Galactica.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid the Cylons have appeared again. However, our FTL drive is now working and we will jump momentarily.
But let's not kid ourselves. The holy grail of futuristic transportation has always been teleportation.
Ready to beam up, Jim?
In film and TV, the most popular form of teleportation depends on the theory that you can break down an object or person in one location and then recreate it in another.
For one little moment, it no longer existed. Only atoms traveling through space at the speed of light. Then here, a moment later, integrated again into the shape of an ashtray.
We've never gotten close to actually making this happen, but according to some scientists, that might not be such a bad thing, because this type of teleporter would just be a cloning machine that kills you first.
You know, I used to think that the transporter in Star Trek was a nice teleporter, and I thought it'd be great to use it, and I started thinking about how it works, and it's really more of a suicide booth.
Even when teleportation does work in film and TV, there are still plenty of drawbacks, like with the machine in The Fly, which famously turns the scientist at the center of the movie into a monster. A little closer to Earth, supercars have been a fantasy practically since the invention of the automobile, which, we might add, was itself once a crazy idea. We've seen flying cars signal the future in everything from the sleek airways of the Jetsons, to the dirty taxi in The Fifth Element, and the airborne DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88. Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Filmed versions of flying cars date all the way back to Just Imagine, a sci-fi musical from 1930 and one of the earliest examples to imagine a future where flying vehicles are as ho-hum as walking. But these supercars tend to simply transpose wings, rockets, or a sudden ability to fly onto the automobile as we know it, which doesn't suit the physical realities of flight, so maybe there's a good reason flying cars just aren't going to happen. Recently though, big backers like Boeing, Uber, and Airbus are racing to be the first approved for a new market of pilotless air taxis that merge this concept with more traditional air vehicle technology. Meanwhile, on the ground, other imagined on-screen vehicles seem to predict the self-driving car. Whether you're talking about the flashy capabilities of the Batmobile, James Bond's remote-controlled car in Tomorrow Never Dies,
well, let's see how she responds to my touch, AQ.
or the scary automated trucks that appear in Logan in the future of the X-Men universe. Today, it seems like we're close to seeing self-driving cars on the road via companies like Tesla and Google. Still, Tesla founder Elon Musk has claimed these supercars were just a year away every year since 2014. And the forbidding Logan example where the truck causes a mysterious accident may be the most accurate prediction. There are already instances when this technology has become deadly or not operated the way it's supposed to.
Whoa! Whoa, whoa. Oh, no, we're going on the wrong side of the road. Whoa, 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 whoa. Nope. It wanted to hit the truck.
The movie that best predicted all this might be Total Recall, with its self-driving taxis that have difficulty with some of the nuances of communication if a passenger goes off book.
Drive!
Would you please repeat the destination?
Oh, anywhere, just go! Go!
Please state a street and number. I'm not familiar with that address.
Many stories about future health have centered cryonics and immortality as the ultimate goals for humans. Netflix's Altered Carbon imagines a world where human consciousness can be compressed into a cortical stack, a computer that allows people to jump between different bodies, interact with computer systems, and live for thousands of years. Upload and the Black Mirror episode San Junipero imagine similar technologies that involve uploading humans' consciousness to another world after they die.
Hello, Nathan. 10 fingers and toes?
But this technology is decidedly out of our reach, at least for the foreseeable future. Though scientists generally seem to agree that uploading our minds is hypothetically possible. It would require a full capacity to map and store the information in the human brain, a remarkably tall order. And with advances in computing slowing down, it's possible we'll never have machines powerful enough to mimic a human brain.
Moore's law at one point predicted that computer power doubles every 18 months. And in recent decades, these advances have slowed. If they come to a halt, our computers may never be fast enough to sort through the data.
Still, some will certainly keep trying to see this through. And at what cost? That's uncertain.
Jeff Bezos recently invested in the immortality startup.
Scaling back from the ultimate goal of functional immortality, we've frequently imagined a world where routine sickness and major disease can be stopped.
It may be true that headaches were once quite common. That was in the days before the brain was charted.
Some depictions, including Star Trek's medical technologies like the tricorder, have inspired real breakthroughs in medical science.
We're making the Star Trek universe happen.
But despite all the medical advances we've seen in real life, past predictions didn't account for the chaos and messiness of actual disease control. Not only are experts predicting more pandemics becoming common in the future due to factors like the climate crisis and smaller buffer zones between humans and animals,
if we're not very careful, the next pandemic could well be even worse.
But even older diseases are making reappearances, in part due to large swaths of society rejecting the medical advances we already have, like safe vaccines.
Today, officials here in New York announced that they found poliovirus in the city's wastewater.
Movies have long been fascinated by future megacities, imagining cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles growing bigger and bigger over time, turning into massive cultural melting pots.
Fortune for you.
Caught up on me. Oh, Christ.
However, these visions of the megacity may be less imaginative than plain observant. Blade Runner 2049 is heavily reminiscent of Tokyo's modern Shinjuku district, and many futuristic stories are just connecting the dots on how civilization grows under neoliberal capitalism, globalization, and consumerist culture, where property and housing are used more to build wealth than to meet the basic human need for shelter. As rents continue to rise, some of our darker visions of the future surface. By 2050, more than 70% of the world is expected to live in a city, yet few can truly afford to live there. If there's a movie that really nails this aspect of the future, it's Rian Johnson's Looper.
Big heads, small potatoes.
The characters of Looper have access to psychic powers, more advanced touchscreens, and even time travel technology. But none of this has actually made people's lives better, exemplified by the way everyone in the movie's version of Kansas City continues to struggle to survive. Still, why do all futuristic predictions assume that cities will just devolve into seedy, wiped-out centers, barren of greenery and run by criminals? Not many stories have predicted the dream futuristic city of today, the sustainable city. Instead of a metropolis, many now instead envision and desperately underline the need for smart cities that prioritize localized communities, mixed-use development, reduction of non-renewable energy, and land-back movements.
It takes land out of the realm of property and into a world of community, where capitalist value has no meaning.
We'd love to see a story that visualizes that when it's already happening in real life. While older media imagined flashy inventions like flying cars and teleportation, people today are increasingly focusing on radical imagination. This encourages people to envision and act toward care-focused worlds, such as through advocating for policies that support healthy and sustainable communities over profit and exploitation-based ones. No matter the year or future we imagine, no matter the tools we have or the technological progress we create, we can't and shouldn't engineer away what people really need.
Welcome to the world